is the next project that I've already been working on. This, let me turn you around and this is a 120-year-old door that I had a client that wanted it restored instead of replaced. And it has turned out to be quite the challenge. I mean, it's got some pretty neat looking detail on there. I'll throw some pictures on here of what it looked like before. It had a really almost walnut dark looking stain on it. And so tried to restore it back to some natural looking wood. I'm pretty sure that this is some kind of red pine or some red species of wood, because there's a lot of red in it. You can see it. But this is the front. But what I'm going to work on today is the back. And let me get it turned around here, and I'll show you the issue with the back of the door. Okay, so I've got the door laying down. This is the back or the interior side of the door. And as you can see, there's a lot of red in it. I've already got a couple coats of stain, golden pecan stain, and it's still red. So what I've done is, you can see on this panel here, I've tried to put a little green stain to kind of dull the redness, and it turned out to be a lot more green than what I thought it was going to be. And so I don't like it, and the client doesn't like it, so I'm going to sand that off, and then we're going to try a different color of stain, a darker stain, to see if we can't tone this red down a little bit. And so when we get to that point, I'll tell you what kind of stain it is, and we'll go from there. But for right now, I'm going to sand. All right, so you can see taking that panel down using a 120 grit. I hit the edges right here, so I'll have to touch those up. So that wasn't real smart, but easily fixable. So I'm gonna throw some 220 on there and do the same thing. And then we'll take this back down. Basically, we'll get it to the same color as the rest of the door. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do to darken this up. All right. So if you never used tack cloth, it's like very sticky wax paper. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's very sticky and it's really made for situations like this. You just want to get all the dust where you're going to be applying stain. All right, so the first step is to get this panel the same color as the rest of the door. So you can see we've got it down to bare wood. Taking it all the way down using 220. And now we want to get it to match the rest of the wood. So let me go get the stain. So what we're going to be using for this step is Minwax Golden Pecan 245. And we'll just take a cotton shirt. This has been mixed up pretty well, so should be good. I'll just take some of this stain. Just rub it in. Looks pretty good. Touch up these other spots. Just rub this down. Letting this soak in just a little bit more than usual because it's so red. And that'll be the first coat. We'll come back when that dries and put the second coat on. All right, so we're ready to start putting the first coat of the darker stain on. And so you can see what it looks like right now. And then this darker stain You probably can't see that. It's pretty dark. So we're going to put it on same way that we put on the golden pecan stain with just cotton t-shirt. If you all have better ways that you prefer applying stain, leave a comment. I'm curious to see what you all do for now. Okay, so you can see that really did darken this door up. Really took the red tone down. That looks pretty good. You're probably noticing some of this patchwork here. That was really kind of difficult to try to match up with the door. Minwax makes a decent product, a wood filler that's stainable, but even stainable, it still is not going to be a perfect match. So, customer for this door has seen this and actually is pretty happy with it. I mean, this is a 120-year-old door, so I'm not sure what else you could do with it besides cutting the old stuff out and putting new in, which would still be very noticeable. Be very difficult to try and match. So anyway, we'll let this dry and we'll put a second coat on. And then this door should be ready for polyurethane. Okay. While this is drying, and you can see the first coat, and then it's still a little bit lighter, so we're going to put one more coat on it when that dries. While we're waiting on that, let's go over here and I'll show you the experiments we've been doing to try to match this stain. So What I did is I cut some samples. This was the reddest wood that I could find. And we put 2 coats of the golden pecan on, and then we just put half coats. That doesn't look like it's showing up very well in those light. Let me see if I can change that a little bit. So this is actually, you can see half of it has been stained with a special blend, and that's actually what we're going to put on the door, so we'll come back to that. And then we went green on this one, and this was something that Sherwin-Williams mixed up for me. It's really kind of green. And then we tried, what is this? Gunstock. I think that's 231. You can see right there. And so we got it on half. And you can barely tell the difference on that. And then we tried honey pine. This is satin from Minwax. And I can't tell the difference. It's on half of it right here, but it doesn't look like it did anything. And then we tried, this is a Fruitwood 241 from Minwax. And it's a little darker. You can see the line right there, but just not enough. And then the last one is this golden mahogany from Verathane. And I thought this one was going to be the ticket, but as you can see, you can't hardly tell the difference. So this is what the client wants, and it is a special blend with, I'm not exactly sure on this. We used it for another door. You probably can't see that, but can't really go to Sherwin-Williams and buy it unless you have that barcode. So anyway, what's going to happen is we'll put this second coat of the golden pecan on and let that dry, and then we'll put a coat of the special blend on to darken it up. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to darken it up so that it matches the other doors in the customer's house. So we'll do that next. Put you back down here.